Sir, you were one of the authors of the bill.
Correct.
Sir, gaano po kahalaga na kailangan itong Maharlika Fund, investment fund na to? And is it really the right time po para sa atin na talagang mag-push na ganitong bill? Kasi a lot of economists are saying na it's not yet the right time, sir.
Well, there are also economists that say that it is. I think if you look at the model of Indonesia, there's been this thing that's been circulating that only countries with a current account surplus put up investment funds. If you look at the case of Indonesia, that's actually not the case. There are a lot of countries that have sovereign wealth funds which run deficits. All a deficit means is that you import more than you export. Now, with regards of it being the right time, if you look at the Philippines in terms of the growth indicators that it has been posting, I think if I'm not mistaken, 7.6. If we are going to go to the numbers that we are expecting, it's quite high. I believe we're either the second or the first, next to Vietnam, as to the fastest economies that are growing in the ASEAN region. Now, we have to arrest that growth and make sure that we take full advantage of it. Part of that is hopefully making sure that this sovereign wealth fund, the Maharlika Investment Fund, is geared towards contributing to national development. If you look at Kong Joey said it brilliantly. If you look at the budget process of Congress, despite the many safeguards, lahat ng mga congressman may parochial concerns. Ako, taga Ilocos, kailangan ko ng bridge dito, kailangan ko ng farm-to-market road dito. Doon nauubos yung pondo. When was the last time we made a national dam? When was the last time there was a flagship project that was in the interest of national development rather than a parochial concern? That's not to say there aren't national projects in place, but I am saying to that scale. And on top of that, talaga, the purpose of it is lahat ng mga proyekto na nakukulangan ng pondo, doon natin makukuha sa kita ng Sovereign Wealth Fund. Now, ang mga sinasabi ng tao na it will be taken from the pension money, and the GSIS and all these corporations already have investable funds. Hindi po galing sa pension, hindi po, it will be taken from the investable funds that are already there. Those corporations already invest into real and financial assets through those investable funds. They do not use the pension money. So instead of being used individually, those investable funds will just be pooled into the Sovereign Wealth Fund. Hindi po hahawakan yung pension ng ating mga kababayan. I think that might have been just a misunderstanding, or maybe it was political. The whole point of this, and you can see naman it's been politicized, but the whole point of this is that it is free from politics. It will be run like a private corporation, hopefully by technocrats that know what they're doing, to be able to make sure that the government's money is used properly and invested the right way. It is going to be run from a private corporation, free from politics. That is the purpose of it.
But sir, your original bill po, only the Secretary of Finance will be the member from the national government, but from the the
yes.
sitting president will now be the chairperson of the board of directors, and now he will be appointing.
Well, the president is also chief of the board. He's also the head of the board of NEDA, which is in charge of the economic development of our country. So it's not much different. There are so many safeguards. If you look at the bill, and actually Kong Joey and the technical working group on the congressional side, my exemptions known from the GOCC and the PCC, that's already not the case. We already took that out. And if you look, we will be making sure that there will be proper representation on the board, especially from the corporations from which these funds will be taken from. Now, like I said, there are three auditors. There will be an internal auditor, an external auditor, and COA. That's three layers of safeguards. Kumbaga, may namatay na tao, may tatlong, what do you call it? There are three coroners checking the dead body. So, like I said, I think part of the reason was that, of course, it's been politicized, but the whole point of this exercise is that this corporation will be free from politics. That's why it needs to be run by technocrats. Wala silang interesado sa politika. Yes, the president will be chairman of the board, but that's this. You have to look at it beyond this administration. This isn't something for the next 6 years. This is something that could keep on going. If you look at the success of what these sovereign wealth funds have done, you cannot dispute naman. Look at Indonesia. 1 year pa lang sila nakatayo. Ang laki na ng kita ng sovereign wealth fund nila. Temasek. So, if you ask, when will it be the right time? Or it's not the right time now, kung ganun ang mindset, it will never be the right time. So we have to make sure, in the interest of national development, that we are doing everything that we can. We're already tawag na nga sa amin, the rising star of the ASEAN region eh. So let's use that to our advantage. Let's make sure that if we are the rising star of the ASEAN region, that the proper investments come in from the proper people. And I think that the Sovereign Wealth Fund is a conduit to be able to do that.
Sir, may we know why it's called Maharlika Wealth Fund? Because
I
there are also
I don't.
concerns.
With regards to the name, I can't really shed light on that. I liked it, but I don't know if there's a deeper meaning. I'm not privy to that.
But you're open to like renaming it if ever may concerns nga talaga from lawmakers?
I'm open to renaming it, but if all the opposition and concerns that there have been, I think the name has been the last. And I think it's a little superficial to be focused on the name. More about the function.
How about your reaction? Kasi si Senator Amy,
Yes.
last week, she expressed reservations about
Yes.
the bill.
Yes, I was just talking to her now. I think it's good that she has reservations about the bill because then it makes sure that the legislation is more robust. It ensures that the safeguards that she was so worried about are actually put up and that there are layers of checks and balances that ensure that the money is going in the right place. So it's good to have concern. It's good to be invested in the process of crafting the legislation to ensure that it is not only robust but it stands the test of time. And that is the whole point of this exercise, is that we need to look at this fund beyond this administration. This needs to be something that becomes synonymous with the ability of our country to progress, and I think this is a good start.
There's some lawmakers.
Aside from Senator Amy, have you talked to any other senator? And what do you think are the chances of this flying in the Senate?
I'm not a senator, so I wouldn't know.
Have you talked to anybody about it?
Yeah,
Anybody
I
else?
have, and I know that there are reservations, but at the same time, I know that it will be studied thoroughly in the Senate, and lahat naman ng senator matatalino eh. So I have no doubts that it will be studied properly, and I think some of their concerns they'll be able to see, especially with the House version that will come out after third reading. They'll be able to see that have been addressed. I know Sen Win has showed his support, but has said that what is important is transparency, which is why there are all these layers of safeguards and checks and balances that are being put in place.
Congressman, just to confirm lang po, kasi binanggit si Congressman Joey Salceda na your father po, President Marcos po, yung nag-push talaga nitong bill na to. Just to confirm po, totoo po bang gano'n?
Well, if you think about it, this isn't a new idea. Sec Diokno already said this was they were looking at it during the time of Duterte. If I'm not mistaken, former Senator Bam Aquino filed a bill in 2016 trying to do the same thing. My guess is because hindi na ipasa dahil patapos na ng administrasyon ni former President Pinoy. I believe Senator JV also nag-file ng bill. It's not a new idea. So, yes, it became apparent that the President was in support of creating a sovereign wealth fund, but the idea did not come from him per se. Because this is something that has been in the works, or something that's been pushed by not even this administration but administrations past before. It just so happens na swertehan kami na kakasimula lang ng administrasyon. So we have 6 years to hopefully be able to craft a piece of legislation that will see out and go beyond the president's term.
Kung ano masasabi niyo naman dun sa mga nagsusupport nitong bill pero ayaw nila or may doubts sila na mag-invest outside the country, sa foreign? Ang mas gusto nila kung dito na lang sa Philippines right now.
How do I put this? It is normal naman for any wealth fund to invest in foreign assets. What we are looking to do, foreign assets in terms of financial, not infra, not financial. Yung mga, in terms of inward investment, we will only be investing in the country for the country's development. But if you look at the financial market of the Philippines, medyo matagal pa yung pagtakbo eh. It's still a very young financial market, so it would slow down the growth of it's called assets under management. It would slow down the growth of the assets under management within that fund. So if I were in the New York Stock Exchange and I said, okay, sa New York lang tayo mag-invest, that would be fine because it's such a complex market full of these tools. The Philippines doesn't have that yet. And if you look at all the other sovereign wealth funds in the ASEAN region, lahat naman sila foreign, they invest in foreign assets. So, yeah, that's my answer to that.
Kung are you ready po na personally kayo po yung mag-justify, haharap sa mga debate para po dito sa bill na to?
Ano sa tingin mo ginagawa ko ngayon? Diba?
Sa plenary
Is
po.
that not part of it? Sa plenary, yes, sure. Why not? But at the same time, I have two of the most brilliant economists in the country well, not I, but the House has two of the most brilliant economists in the country in the form of Joey Salceda and Stella Kimbo, who are by far the best equipped to explain it in more clear terms than I ever could.
Sir, some lawmakers have expressed concern po sa pag-railroad daw po nitong bill. Why is there any to rush this po?
How has it been railroaded?
Barely a week it was filed and then it was approved in principle at the committee level and now I think they will...
Do you know how many bills were filed in a week and approved on committee level and are for second reading on this week? I'll tell you, it's more than the Sovereign Wealth Fund.
So what's your comments or reaction?
It wasn't railroaded. It goes through a process. First reading, committee report, second reading, third reading. That's the process. So kapag dumaan sa proseso, how is it railroaded?
But the stakeholders daw po were not consulted. Mamaya pa nga lang daw, sir.
I'm sorry?
Stakeholders po were not consulted.
That's not true. The GSIS and all the corporations were in the technical working group filing, participating in the process. Meron naman people's participation in every technical working group eh. You can ask Kong Joey. So they were consulted.
Sir, may counterpart na po ba yung sa Senate? Maharlika.
That's for the Senate to answer. So
Initially, sir, may nakausap po ba?
once again, that's for the Senate to answer. I'm in Congress, so I will only speak for Congress. Thank you, guys.